Welcome to God Power Live, where Black women gods come to connect with their likeness and refine our emotions so we can do distinctly what us as original women have come here for. I'm here every weekday at 8 a.m. Pacific, here on TikTok, here on Facebook. This is Thanksgiving week, so I will not be here Thursday and Friday. I know TikTok and social media makes it all of this seem frivolous, and I know most of you are heavily distracted, just spending hours of your life just streaming, looking at shit online. But for those of us who have been born different, okay, the original woman who, since young, she has been a particular way so that really she's hardwired, meaning she can't, even if she wanted to, not do it. You know how some people cannot do something because whatever, and they still live nice lives and all that. We cannot do that and be at peace. That's why we get sick. That's why we get cancer. That's why we shrink. That's why we struggle. This is why we start to hate life. Many of us kill ourselves. Okay, I've been at the two times very closely at the door of suicide, right? While other people can just live mediocre lives and be just fine. And so I know online makes it, you watching me online, I think it even though you're like resonating, etc., for those of you who are, right? Um, it's easy to do nothing. It's very easy to do nothing and to go on to the next video, the next live stream, the next YouTube thing, the next TikTok shop item, the next thing to laugh at, the next thing that, and this is why I've been pushing and will be for Lord knows how long, us gathering around the globe. So today's topic is what has your whisper told you to do repeatedly? When I say repeatedly, I mean the last 10 years. What have you been instructed to do that you've been running from? Right? You go distract yourself with a man, with food, you get fat, you go travel around the world some, you go have a kid, 15 years go by, the same thing that was knocking at your door 15 years ago is still in your face, grabbing your soul in the middle of the night. That thing. What have you been told? What were you told 20 years ago? Hi, Evan. Phila said I'm supposed to create a data analytics company that creates freedom for us. And when did you first get word to do that? And why have you not done it, Phila? While we wait for Phila to decide if she'd like to share that with us, I'd like to talk about this whole getting along thing. Because you, all of it. Like I know me to the degree that I know me. You know you, right? You know you to the degree that you know. And that's it. It stops there. How we then know us in relation to other people, that is where the game changes. That is where the rubber meets the road. And when I feel into this more, when I look at even the conversations I'm having now with clients, prospective clients, even the women who are already registered for the God Power Workshop, which starts Monday, by the way, it's for the original woman who's ambitious, successful, accomplished, shrunk herself to get along, right? To raise ranks in corporate or to do whatever she's done, right? Perhaps you're living a really nice life and you and only you know that you're hiding. Everybody else looks at you like a genius, successful leader, powerful woman, but you know quietly that you're not doing what you came here for. And so when it comes time for us to, as I'm talking, having these conversations about, Black women guys gather and all the shit that I don't talk about online because you want to talk to people who actually want to talk about it. And people show you their interest by their action and their money, okay? Regardless of what they say. And so in these conversations, it's like feeling how pioneering this is what we're doing. Do you know of any community in the world? I'd love to hear from you all in the comments, even if you're on Facebook watching this as a replay. Do you know anywhere in the world where the original woman, right, the woman who's actually doing what she came here for, not like wanting to be a part of a popular group because it's, cute online, or, a seen and be seen click, right? But women who are really becoming dangerous because it's who they are, when they really tell the truth about who they are and stand in it out loud in their career, with the men in their lives, with their parents, with whoever they're interacting with. And everything that we run from and lie to ourselves about, we stop running and stop lying, and we actually let that live and stand. And that's how we interact with each other. That's how we interact with everybody. And as a result of that, that's how things start to shift with white people, non-black people everywhere around the world, whether you're in Sudan, whether you're in the Middle East, whether you're in China, whether you're in Paris, whether you're in Caribbean, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Hawaii, whether you're in deep South Texas, that you're so holistic, right? You don't run, you don't have any story. Like look at this, everything that I just named. Look at feel all that. Right? A community where women are being that is what it is. That's the standard, right? And you have done such dangerous shadow work. You know, a lot of the shadow work online is for children. It's like, very good. Oh my, all my traumas from my childhood. Well, congratulations. Okay, then what? Okay. Your primal self, which is why I talk about trusting your original system, because your original system as the original woman is primal in nature. In nature, it's not, you don't need to make it up. Your real, raw, original system is primal in nature. So when you're do the work that we do in my company, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Like, and so we are not used to this. It's very pioneering what's happening over here. So just imagine you're doing all that. Then you start to actually, all the stories that you have that get in the way of you connecting with your likeness, right? I don't have the money. I don't trust women. I can't right now. The economy is trash. I feel shame secretly about this. Well, because I need to lose weight first. Well, because, like, imagine if you dissolved all that, which is what you do when you start doing primal shadow work, which is what my shadow gold program is, right? That, then you start operating in your true primal system. Like, this is all you can do is imagine now, because who's living like this, right? Where you can be so vulnerable, because why we're scared to be vulnerable, one, scared to look weak, two, is somebody going to take advantage of me? See me, when you start to trust your original system for real, for real, for real, which this is work, right? You got to make mistakes. You really have to be with your likeness, somebody who's doing the same thing, and it's in their interest to love you. How about that? They have great incentive to love you and be an accurate reflection for you, because they want you to do the same for them. That's the incentive, right? And the intention and the conditions are set in that environment, which is what Black Women Gods Gather is about. And you're doing this, and right, imagine, just imagine, like, even as I'm talking about it, I'm like, whoa, I'm just like feeling it flood. It's like, right, and like, what does it take to do that? We create this together inside of Black Women Gods Gather. We create this together. This is pioneering. It hasn't been done. It's never been done before. Just imagine, it's never been done. So there's no blueprint. The solution is in being true, right? Back to what I was saying about the vulnerability. As you are in these relationships where it's in everybody's interest to love each other and to really be present and to tell the truth, right? It's in everybody. And you really start to refine trusting your system, which means you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And you can afford to make those mistakes because you're held, okay? And you're making these mistakes around the world. You thought something here, you felt something there with somebody, you were off, you realized you were creating a story and projected it, you clean it up, you come back to yourself, you sit down. Okay, great, thank you. You let go of 5 different stories you've been telling yourself for 10 years to keep yourself separate from people. You decide to drop that, and then you come back out in the world again to connect with people, and that elevates you, because now I can connect with people in a real way that's powerful and connected, and we can engage in projects without projecting stories onto each other. And wow, then we all make more money in a more joyous way, and we're traveling together to here, to there, and then we hit another wall because there's 5 more layers we need to shed within ourselves. And then we stick with it because there's the incentive on the other side of more joy, more connectedness, more whatever is your goal. And even the goals you don't even realize you have, but your heart have for you. So then you stay with it. It's hard. Oh, I'm going to leave. I don't like you. I don't, what, wait, right? And then you dissolve that, and then that goes down, and then you're illuminated more, and then you can move forward. See, like that, right? And the more you do that, the more you start to realize your original system is where all the answers live. like the real answers for you, that's where they all live, then you never have to worry about trusting people. You never have to worry about, am I making the right move? Because your original system will tell you what to do. And it is right. But this whole conversation you guys have probably heard in a simple way online about self trust, right? It's almost like people are trying to will themselves into self trust. They're trying to affirm themselves into self trust. But self trust happens on the ground in actual relationships where you make a decision to trust somewhere because you got the call to do it. But the only reason you haven't is because of all the stories that is around the call, right? Like, let me see if I can go back and find. Uh, Somebody said, oh, okay, I was looking for your comment, fella. Hey, hi there. Hey, goddess, you tried and failed multiple times this year. Okay. So, and then we will want to, so in a community, let's say we were in a community. I love this. We only have like 3.5 minutes left. So let's say we were in a community. You were Black Women Gods Gatherers Global. Okay. This is a high level community for high integrity, pioneering Black women gods. There's a significant investment to be involved. You're going to be involved over the long term. Let's say that's been your commitment. You say, I'm going to hang out here for a year. That's what you've agreed to. You're here to do that, to bring your thing forward. But not only bring that forward, you realize that it's you and your trust of your original system supported by the community that's going to give you the fuel to launch that thing, right? So let's say Phila came to the community and said, hey, I have tried and failed multiple times this year. Well, first of all, if you were in the community, you would have been supported at the beginning. So I don't know what your mind was at the beginning of this, right? And then try. You said I've tried, right? So it would be a conversation like, what does try even mean? you know? See, and I don't know because we haven't talked to you, but that's the whole point of the community, right? And then we would look at, okay, so Phila, what's your real intent here? Right? And that's for all of us. When we call ourselves embarking on something, what's the real intent? Like we think we know what the intent is, right? Like Phila, tell with us, share with us what is your truest intent. She says she's been surrounded by men. Somebody said I get stuck with execution. Exactly. That's why we need to be in community. You know, in closing, because I have about a minute and a half left, uh, in response to Phila saying, I've been around men, right? I would anybody who would like to engage on my live streams, you need a profile photo. Okay? You need a profile photo. I don't engage with people who don't have profile photos. You come to a party with a bag on your head. Is that what this is? Um, you it's important for us to understand how the male mind works. The male mind is logical first, always. They're one dimensional in thinking, typically. They're logical, and they typically don't lean in, trust, and listen to something that cannot be measured immediately. They're going to defer to history. They're going to defer to something they've read. They're going to defer to numbers. They are not wired to see things that cannot be seen. You need to understand that. They are not feminine in nature. The male mind. You need to understand that. So when you're going to do something that's pioneering, most men, let's say most people, but definitely most men, if they can't track it to something that can be tracked, measured. This is why when you go present to men, you want to bring numbers, you want to bring data, you want to bring statistics, analytics, history, context, like you bring all that. And because so many women think with a male mind, they do the same thing, which robs them of their feminine essence and their creativity. You see? So I close with this a couple things. If you are an accomplished, ambitious, successful, pioneering Black woman God, and you're ready to dig down into your deepest fears in a partnered situation with a woman of your likeness, another pioneering woman, and you're ready to dissolve a lot of your fears and come out of hiding, truly, in the most powerful way you have to date, you really need to get yourself inside of my God Power Workshop. We start next Monday, and it's a 9-day workshop, okay? Again, only come in if you're the woman I described. Please read the details on the registration page. Read, read, read. There's a video there too. The details are with the link in my bio. God Power Workshop. That's one of the things I have to share with you in closing. And then I'm going to be going live inside of a private Facebook group to talk more. That's on my plan for today. We have taboo conversations that are not going to be talked about online. You can come in and talk about what you want to talk about. You can add to the conversations that we'll be having had. And you can also go live. So if you really want to get something out and move it through and talk, right, reverberate that thing out and be supported by other women who want to talk about taboo, really shame, fear, power, courage, supernatural. It's happening inside the group. It's wonderful. And I'm actually going to be in there today. Nobody knows it yet, but I just decided this morning. So there's a one-time fee of $125 to be in this group. It's delicious. And you can get details about the group with the link in my bio. Okay, so those are the two things, the God Power Workshop and this private Facebook group. All right, I'm going to close out here on Facebook, and I'm going to just come highlight TikTok a little bit. So hold on one second. Hello, April. All righty. So a digital